Okay, so should we start? Okay, anything important on this first page? What UK government? To reduce age of voting from 18 to 16. Okay, fine, let UK government do that. Indian government will not do that. Yes? Double standards. Okay, this is something which is a news in transition, which is going on continuously. What is happening? When Donald Trump, he was supposed to get elected. Before the election, what he was saying that, if I get elected as President of United States, I'll ensure that within 24 hours, this Russia-Ukraine war will be stopped. Okay, that's how politicians come in power. They say it. But that did not happen. Right? Now he tried. Certainly he tried. Talked to Zelensky, he talked to Putin. And somewhere President Putin or Russia came to the table of negotiation. So some talks were also going on. That happened. But then recent events which have taken place, especially with respect to Iran. Iran was also having some nuclear talks with United States of America. And during those talks, suddenly USA attacked. Now this is something even Russia was watching. That you can't trust USA. They'll say something, they'll do something else. Somewhat same scenario has happened over here. So Russia said that yes, we will come to this peace talks and we will sort out this Russia-Ukraine war, we'll stop it. But that did not happen. After this incident of Iran, Russia has gone for more attacks on Ukraine. Now till now, if we see the present condition, 20% of the territory of Ukraine is already captured by Russia. Okay? And they are still going aggressively right now. So what Mr. Trump is doing, so last time if you have ever seen the news, he was like, Putin talks nicely on call, but later on he starts attacking, right? So similar thing is happening now. What Trump is trying to do, that he tried whatever he could, that didn't work out. Now he is going for another method. In this another method, what he is saying, we'll put sanctions on Russia. They have already put sanctions, whether it is USA or the entire Western Europe. They have put so many sanctions already on Russia. Now, if we see United States and Russia, they hardly have trade. If we see their trade is hardly 2 billion, 3 billion. So, for Russia, it doesn't matter much even if USA is putting sanction on Russia directly. Russia is still managing because Russia has got other partners like India, like China. They're selling things now. This is something USA is now concerned about, that you people, you Indians, you Chinese, Brazil, these countries are buying oil and natural gas from Russia. So that's the reason Russia is not worried about any kind of sanction, because we are putting sanction, you people are buying. So they're enjoying, they're getting funding, they're getting a lot of money and they can continue the war. The reason to put sanctions is to make Russia economically weak. When you don't have money, how are you going to lead the war? That's the idea. But the sanctions, even if there are so many sanctions, it's not working. So those sanctions are called primary sanctions, which are already there. Now Trump is threatening that I'm going to put secondary sanctions. And these sanctions will rather be on those countries which are buying something from Russia. Let's say in this case, oil or natural gas. So the sanctions will rather be now on India, China, Brazil, those countries which are buying things from Russia. Getting the point? What India is saying, or Indian Foreign Minister Jai Shankar, somehow he is trying to say that this is double standards. Because when it comes to Europe, when they need something, they are buying that thing from Russia. Or somehow, let's say this also happens. We buy something from Russia. Let's say we get some oil from Russia. Okay, that's a crude oil. Now we have got refineries in India. We refine it, we make petrol, diesel, or we make so many petroleum products. And now we sell those petroleum products to other countries. Look at this thing. Europe has put sanction on Russia. They'll not buy something from Russia, they're saying. But what about this same thing? They're buying the same thing from us. Does it make any difference? No. So somewhere they're saying this is double standard, we don't agree with it. And there is something very serious. Can Trump go ahead with this sanction? Is it possible? He's talking about 500% sanction, 500% tariff will be there if you buy from Russia and all. Can he go for it? No? Why? Yes or no? How many with yes? One person only. Okay, someone came. No? How many no? One person. Good. Nota? All are nota. So the point is, he can go for it if he wants to. Who can stop him? Nobody. He'll do whatever he wants to. But it's not going to be that easy. Okay, there can be resistance from other countries like India also. Look at India. For us, is America important? Very important. Top trade partner, we can say. We are earning a lot of money. Their market is important. Everything is okay. But when it comes to crude oil, when it comes to petrol, diesel, these things, that matters way more than anything. Because if suddenly the supply of this crude oil stops for India due to any reason, there will be extreme level of inflation that we might observe in India. Suddenly there will be a lot of problems. There can be a lot of instability, economic also, and because of that, again, that political instability also we might see. So India cares hell lot about its energy security. And for that, whatever is needed, we might do. So we don't know what will be the action. Whether there will be sanction or whether we will say that we'll not buy anything from Russia, we don't know. Let's see, because that's what I said. It's a news in transition. So we will see what will happen in near future. Okay? Any doubt on this? No? Yes. Anything new on this page or next page? Any important news? This is very important news. Heavy rain. Yeah, this one seems to be little important. So they're saying Hyderabad at which 6th spot in Swachh Sarvekshan 2024-25. What is Sarvekshan? When we use this term Sarvekshan, yes? No? We don't know, sir. Sarvekshan is normal survey. They're doing some kind of survey. What is survey? We go and ask people, what is your opinion? Who should be Prime Minister? Survey. We can do that. Now this Swachh Sarvekshan is quite famous. It is done by Ministry of, which ministry? Housing and Urban Affairs. Very good. So this ministry comes up with this survey every year. What is their plan? Their plan is to bring in some cleanliness in cities, cleanliness and sanitation in cities. Now we all know which is the cleanest city in India. Indore. And last year it was Surat also, which was at top number 1. So Indore and Surat. Earlier Surat was at second number. Now the point is, what government thinks, if we bring any such list every year, that will give some motivation to these cities, the governments, local governments of these cities, the people living in that area, they will also get some motivation to go for this cleanliness, right? So they come up with this list, and the list is very different. Every time, likewise, they will come up with different categories. So some cities where population is more than 10 lakh, they will categorize them differently. And then cities with less population, they will be categorized differently. So different categories are there. Now what will happen? In that category, there will be many cities. These cities will now compete. These cities will now compete. Right now, just as I said, Surat and Indore. Indore is at number 1 since last 6-7 years continuously. Okay, last year it was Surat, which has also come to the same spot. So you see the competition. Is it a good competition? Yes. It's a good competition between cities. So that's the basic idea. Now this year what they have done? They said that those cities which are already doing good, they are anyway going to do good. And even if other cities try to do something good, it's difficult for them to compete with these cities like Surat and all. because they are way ahead now, right? So government came up with one more category. So they said this is Swachh Shahar, Swachhata Shahar, something name they have given. So one more category where new cities can also come in and they can compete. Now in those new cities, Ahmedabad is at number 1 right now, and some other cities are also there, and we see Hyderabad also at 6th spot. Okay. Now as far as Hyderabad is concerned, whatever they have talked, these are those criteria which are already there in that list. So there are list of parameters which are given, which will be checked when they are going for this survey. For example, this door-to-door collection of waste. Not in every city we see this happening, that people will come, some people from the municipality, they'll come and collect the waste from your home directly. Then waste generation versus waste processing. Even if you collected the waste, most of the time what happens, they collect and they'll just put it or dump it at some place. Nothing is happening. You will create a new site of dumping. That waste has to be processed. That is something important, and that processing unit should also be very near to this dumping site. Let's say you make this dumping site in Ashok Nagar, and let's say you have this processing unit in Miapur. Is it useful? Do you think any relation in that? It's useless. Are you going to take all this garbage every day from this place to that place? Unit has to be nearby. This is also very problematic sometimes, right? Then remediation of dump sites. Those dump sites also need to be cleaned, treated again and again, so that otherwise what will happen, if you're dumping garbage at one place, then there is a possibility of new diseases emerging from that area. So it is important to clean them, treat them. That is also important. And cleanliness of the normal residential area, commercial area, all those areas. So all these are the things in which we see Hyderabad is doing good. There's one more thing that we call as source segregation. Now this is very important. The best way to deal with any kind of waste is to separate the waste at the beginning, early stage. Whenever, let's say, someone came to you taking your garbage, at that moment only, if they ensure that dry waste is in some other container and this wet waste is in some other container, because later on you can't do that. Okay, and then whatever recycling you have to do, or whatever you want to make compost out of this waste, that becomes possible. Otherwise later on you can't do that. So this source segregation, that has to be done, and this is something we find difficult, because in many cities, wherever municipality is coming and taking this waste, they are not segregating it. As far as I know, it is Bangalore which is doing decent in this. Pune is doing decent in this, but we are not finding much cities doing as good as in this particular category. Okay? So important? Yes, quite important. Now, anything important on next page? Nothing as such here. AI startup, no. Not needed. Now this one, NASA Axiom ISRO mission, which we had already discussed, right? Axiom mission, Axiom 4 mission, wherein we have sent one of our Shubhanshu Shukla, yes, very good. So this person went to space, came back, so we are calling this as a rehearsal for our upcoming Gaganyaan mission. So Gaganyaan mission, government is planning to send some astronauts or some, whatever name they would give, Vyomanauts or something. We are going to send at least 3-4 people to space from India with our spacecraft, and the mission is Gaganyaan. So we are saying this is a rehearsal, whatever knowledge this person might have got through this mission, that will be helpful for that mission. So Gaganyaan is going to remain important for you. Okay? So we discussed this already. This is not important. Trump, Russia, we already discussed. Should political leaders retire at 75? Now, This is highly political. I suggest if you are so interested in reading this article, for the sake of love for Modi ji, you can read it. Okay? This one. Akash Prime successfully tested in Ladakh by Indian Army. Now Akash missile, important missile, it's a SAM, means surface to air missile. What is surface to air missile? Surface to air missile. Okay, what is missile? Leave the rest of the things. What is a missile? Missile is a weapon, sir. Yes? Yes, to target someone. So let's say I have a gun. There is a difference between gun and missile. Yeah, both are weapons, na? Both also target. Highly populated region we can attack. Huh? Okay, let's say we want to attack from this position to some other location. Let's say there's a distance of 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, or even 1,000 kilometers. What we use is missile, right? The good thing about missiles is we can set the target in that. There are two things. One is guided missile, other one is unguided. In that what happens is you can set the target, the missile will exactly hit that location, that target. Okay, and we can guide it also. Some missiles will have this thing wherein we can guide them when they are on their pathway. When they are moving, you can tell, don't go here, don't go this side, go this side. You can guide them. Okay, you'll read that in detail later on. Now we are saying it's a surface to air missile. That means you can launch this missile from surface and it can attack to something that is in air. So let's say Pakistani drones are coming. Yes? Or let's say Pakistani aircraft is coming. Okay? So that is in air and you are over here on the land. So what army can do is they can use this Akash Prime from surface to air. They can easily launch this missile and attack that aircraft or that drone. Easy? Surface to air. That's the basic meaning. Okay? So this has been tested. Important thing is this is indigenously developed missile system. Akash system is indigenously developed by DRDO. Okay? So it's going to be important for us as far as indigenization of our weapons is concerned. We are focusing a lot on becoming Atmanirbhar in the defense segment. Okay? From that dimension, it is quite important. Okay, and this one becomes more important because right now they have tested it in the region of Ladakh. Now see, not every weapon can be used at every location. Go to Ladakh, let's say you are at an altitude of let's say 15,000 feet from the level of sea. So their oxygen level is less, there is this temperature is less. Not every weapon is going to work the way you want it to work. Right? Even we see many times even mobile phones don't work properly when the temperature is very low. Right? So they have tested this Akash Prime there in Ladakh. So herein we are showcasing the technology that we have. That even at such high altitude we can use these missiles. So this is like we are getting ready for the war is what we are showcasing through this. Okay? Good. Now anything important on this page apart from this news? This one you can say, maybe just for basic reading, you can look at this news. Constitutional validity of UAPA upheld by High Court. Now anyway you will read about UAPA when you study internal security part. Okay, when you study internal security specifically about terrorism and all, when you study non-state actors you will study. There you will get to know about UAPA. To briefly tell you what is UAPA or Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, right? So here the term is unlawful activities. In simple terms, I can call this law as one of the strongest terror law that is present in India to deal with terrorists or to deal with movements which are called as cessationist movements. What do you understand by cessation? Want to separate? Yes, you can call in simple terms that, let's say someone is saying we want to make Kashmir Azad. So that's a cessationist movement, we can say, right? To deal with such cessationism, wherein there will be practices of terrorism or someone is funding terrorism, there are many organizations, let's say like Lashkar-e-Taiba, that's one organization. There will be many other organizations. So under this UAPA law, central government gets lot of power to deal with all these things. They can designate someone as a terrorist under this law. They can designate one organization as unlawful organization or unlawful, or instead of that, terrorist organization also we can say. See, if you see the fundamental rights under Article 19, we have one right in that, that is right to form association, right? So let's say we together, let's say we decided that 50 people will come together, will form one association. We can do that. But here what they are saying, some associations will be termed as unlawful associations or unlawful organizations, right? So somewhere we see fundamental rights getting violated, but security comes first and everything comes later on, right? The first responsibility of the state is to ensure security of the public. Any state which cannot ensure security is not a state, it's a failed state. Simple. Okay? Now in this case, this UAPA Act is used. Now we have an agency called NIA. Very good. National Investigation Agency, NIA. Any idea when this agency was created? Just guesswork. Huh? 2000? Any reason why 2002? Huh? 1960s, why? No idea. Okay. So normally we Indians have this thing that we learn when there is a tragedy, when there is a big disaster. After that we take some actions for sure. So we saw one tragedy, one terror incident that shook the entire population of India. That was 26/11, Mumbai attack of 2008. That was horrible attack. After that we formed this National Investigation Agency. The reason being, in that 26/11 attack we specifically found some problems. The state police was not in a position to deal with the terrorist who had attacked Mumbai that time. And there were many problems with respect to coordination with central agencies, state agencies. So many problems were there. So later on, central government said, we need to give power to one agency. We will create one agency that will be under central government, obviously, and they will deal with it. Right? So NIA was created, and NIA gets lot of power under this UAPA Act. Okay, they'll seize someone's property. They will go ahead with many actions. And this UAPA remains in news because many human rights groups, they claim that this UAPA law is not good and all. That will happen. You'll have to study this act in detail, and you'll have to understand why human rights groups do not like it. Because sometimes central government might make misuse of it. Right? So this happens. So this act remains important. Right now, just basic news, they're saying in one high court there was a case registered, this UAPA law is not good. Court has said law is okay, no problem. Center should have such powers. Sometimes we need those powers. Okay? Yes? One more thing they have mentioned, that is this section 124A of IPC. Any idea what is this section 124A of IPC is all about? Sedition. Any idea what is sedition? Blaming others. Government. Don't know, sir. Okay. Sedition. Sometimes there is another term that is used as Rajdroha. That is the sedition charge. Rajdroha. Although this term came from the British Raj. When you go against the Raj, that was Rajdroha. Right? Sedition means you are doing something which is completely against the state. You're saying something, you're inciting people. Let's say I say something, I say that go and do some revolt against the entire state system. right? All such things are considered as sedition. So at the time of British Raj, such sedition charge was placed on even Bal Gangadhar Tilak for those bomb attack and all, right? So this is sedition, which is something very serious. You see, this is not a normal charge as such. If it is put on you, maybe forget about all your dreams after that. Government will take care of you. So this sedition charge also they have tried to discuss. Just remember section 124A, what is it about? Okay. Now moving ahead. Amarnath Yatra put on hold as landslide leaves 3 injured. Maybe we'll get some other article wherein they discuss about landslides and the details of it. We'll get to know more about it. Basic landslide, you people understand? Normal landslide, the rocks, that soil, everything which starts slipping on that slope, that is the landslide. And this is quite common in these areas. Then this one is important. Diabetes becoming a new normal. Maybe this is not in your newspapers. Okay. So any idea what is diabetes? Huh? Raising insulin levels. Insulin increases or reduces? Are you sure? Two types. What is insulin? Hormone. Very good. At least we reached to this stage. It's a hormone. So I understand you are confused. So diabetes, when we say, just understand the basic way through which our body works. Our body continuously needs some energy. Okay, and when I say our body needs, it is each and every single cell of our body that needs energy. Now how do we get this energy? From the food that we are eating. But directly when you eat this food, directly your body is not getting the energy. That food has to be converted in the form of energy. Okay. Now when you eat the food, that becomes your sugar part. Okay, just understand this food is getting in your blood streams, in your blood. Okay, that we call as blood sugar. Now whatever you are eating, it is becoming your blood sugar. You keep on eating, blood sugar level will keep on increasing. Now if it remains only in blood, is it going to give you energy? No. It has to reach to every single cell, right? Cell has to convert that food item or that blood sugar into energy. That's a chemical reaction that takes place inside your cell separately. Now see, when it is in the blood, to ensure that from blood it gets into each single cell, what you need is something called as insulin. Okay, insulin is a chemical, you can say, or hormone is the right word. This insulin is produced in our body. So there is something called pancreas, and there we see this insulin getting produced. Okay, naturally it happens, no problem. So this, if you have got insulin in your body, this insulin will ensure that from the blood, this sugar, blood sugar which is there, it will enter into each and every cell of your body. When it enters in the cell, what will happen? Huh? Very good. That cell will ensure that this blood sugar is converted into energy and every cell will get energy. Right? Now what happens in case of diabetes? This process doesn't take place. From blood sugar, it has to move to the cells. This blood sugar which is there in blood, it has to enter into your cells, and for that you need insulin. But if in your body, let's say the insulin is not produced in the amount which is needed, or let's say there is no insulin at all, what will happen? Just imagine, there is no insulin. There is no insulin. So in your blood, sugar is there. You have eaten something, that glucose or that sugar has entered your blood now. But it is not going to the cells. So it will keep on accumulating in your blood. That's the reason the blood sugar level increases in those people who are affected by diabetes. Are you getting the point? This is one thing happening. Parallelly, other thing is happening. Your cells are not getting anything. They need that glucose, right? They're not getting that. They're not able to produce energy. That's why what you will feel, if you're a diabetic patient, you will feel like, I don't have energy at all. Are you getting the point? Yes? Now this diabetes is of two types. Type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Now one kind of diabetes involves in which we see that there is no insulin supply as such. What happens? We have our immune system in our body, right? If some virus, bacteria attacks, our immune system attacks to that virus to kill it. Sometimes our immune system makes some kind of mistake. Instead of attacking on virus, bacteria, etc., it attacks our pancreas, or it attacks those cells which are actually producing that insulin. So just imagine your body's immune system, it has killed those cells which are creating that insulin. So insulin will not be produced. So if insulin is not produced, or it is being produced in a very, very less quantity, supply is less, because of which blood sugar level will increase. So this will be one kind of diabetes. Now mostly we see 5 to 10% of the people suffer from this kind of diabetes. This is type 1. Okay? So such people, what will happen in their blood sugar level will increase. Okay? Those people need to go for urine again and again because of that thing, same thing. And this happens. Now other one is type 2. This is more interesting and more important. Here what happens, the insulin is produced in your body. Insulin is produced. But the problem is, the cells are not accepting it. Even if there is insulin, there is something called insulin resistance which has got developed in your body. Because of your lifestyle, because nowadays our lifestyle is very different. What we do is we eat products which are like sugary products, or let's say full of carbohydrates. Our lifestyle is very different. Earlier it was not like this, the kind of lifestyle we have. So because of this happens that the cells do not accept it. So it's like if this insulin is trying to open up this cell and send this blood sugar, it's not ready to open the door, we can say, or it's not allowing, it's not accepting this insulin at all. So even if there is insulin, it becomes useless. That's insulin resistance. That is very dangerous. This is type 2 diabetes, and this is very common nowadays. In majority of the people that we see, we observe this kind of diabetes. Okay? So that's it. Any doubt? No? And then such diseases are called as non-communicable diseases. Okay, there's this term non-communicable diseases, and nowadays it has become very common that these non-communicable diseases are becoming something called as normal nowadays, which is not normal obviously. So that is because of our lifestyle, the kind of lifestyle we have, especially through the rising urbanization, right? With this economic growth, modernization, capitalism, whatever you call it, end result on one side we get is this increasing number of non-communicable diseases. Okay? So that's it. If you have any doubts, please ask. Yes? No doubt?